Ed Marsh here to tell the painful truth that most of what companies call sales process is really just a project management outline. I mean, think about it. Here's what the typical sales process sounds like. It normally starts with some BANT type details: confirm a budget, identify the decision maker, confirm a need, and determine the timeline. Then there's a quote issued, and a presentation, and some negotiation. Yours probably sounds a lot like that. But those are administrative steps. There's no selling involved, so it creates a false impression that deals are progressing toward a close just because you're checking boxes. I mean, if that was true, then why not do the quote before you even begin prospecting? We also need to quickly differentiate between sales process, or the steps to move from the project creation to closed won, and sales methodology, or how you use meetings, language, communication, questions to complete the process. Those are often conflated, but they're different. And of course, there's also hybrids. Take MEDDICC or MEDDICC, for instance. It's a helpful framework for opportunity qualification, but it's a list of criteria. It's not a process. So how do you build an effective sales process? You have to collect, interpret, and act on critical information elements in order to progressively move through milestones. For example, using Dave Curlin's baseline sales model, you must do a lot of things. You've got to identify an issue that they consider to be a problem, differentiate yourself from competition by creating trust and authority, by demonstrating a deep understanding of their business, identify the decision maker and all members of the buying team or committee, identify their need, determine their compelling reason to buy both personally and professionally, quantify the cost of the problem, and have the prospect confirm your quantification or your calculation. Understand the risks associated with change and with doing nothing. Establish urgency. There's a lot of deals that sound like nice to have, but it's up to salespeople to make a must-have. You have to determine their commitment to take action and what might prevent action. Verify they'll pay for your solution. Meet with the decision maker, not just their proxies, advisors, technical influencers, and others you met earlier. Map their decision-making criteria and process. Understand their timeline for making a decision. Confirm your value, how you've helped others like them do similar things in the past. Make a presentation, provide your proposal, and close the deal. Now, in the big ticket, complex sales space like capital equipment, many of those steps involve lots of research, multiple meetings, and various people. Strong sales process must be constantly reinforced by great sales management through pipeline reviews, call planning, call debrief, and role playing. Take simply just determining their compelling reason to buy, for instance. That's a discussion. Think of Keenan's gap selling, which touches on some of the steps in this process, as does MEDDICC, Challenger Sale, and others. It's not enough to have a checkbox in your CRM that you've determined the compelling reason to buy. Your reps must be able to document qualitatively and concisely what it is and how they've actually confirmed it with the prospect, and do so for every member of the buying team, and then for the decision maker. You know, with up to 50% of deals ending in no decision, it's clear that the commitment to act is often missing. Or, as the jolt effect highlights, it succumbs to information overload, risk aversion, and indecision. And so that must be understood in detail and with nuance that go beyond simply advancing a deal between stages. There's a huge amount of culture, training, and sophistication that go into building a sales process. For most companies, if they follow it properly, their pipeline will be largely wiped out initially. Gradually it will refill, and then forecasts will become far more accurate, but the transition is painful. And that's what sales is about, challenging much of what we hear from buyers with our happy sales ears to really understand and help them understand the change that's required to move from their current state of need to their desired future state of improvement. That's the science and art of sales, and that's what a sales process helps guide. And you can see how that differs from the typical check-the-box series of admin sales project management steps that most companies have as their sales process. This is especially critical for long sales cycle, big-ticket, complex sales like machinery and capital equipment.